I mean, it was obviously quite warm last night, and I was probably a bit tired. I probably sound like I've had a couple, and you'd be right, I had. But a pleasant night was had, and yes, I come across this. Yet again, the alternative view. I have to say, fair play to this guy. He seems to, oh my God, he seems to find things that I'm like, what did I just hear out of Corbyn's gob? You know? Honestly, I recommend you sub to this individual's channel. I'm like, what did I just hear? Honestly. Let me, under fair use, play you some of this.
And all the far right in Britain have created the most horrible and dangerous atmosphere in this country against refugees, against migrants, and against minorities.
I mean, come on. Seriously. In amongst my posts, yeah, that's the thing. Scotland's most dangerous areas named. Glasgow City, I wonder why. Dundee City, I wonder why. Western Bartonshire, Dumfries and Galloway, City of Edinburgh, Aberdeen City, North Lanarkshire, North Ayrshire, Renfrewshire, East Ayrshire, Inverclyde, Fife, Falkirk, South Lanarkshire, Argyll and Bute, for God's sake. Why is this happening? Well, and remember, if you're not about absolutely embracing your country being absolutely destroyed from within by these lunatics and people like them, I was across in France and I saw people in tents, you know. Yeah, that travelled through several Western nations. But they're wanting that. You know, apparently the UK is quite literally paved with gold for these people. Meanwhile, rents are going through the roof, being able to get any kind of accommodation, and God forbid you've got a white skin. Seriously.
They promoted racism, and that racism is played out in the violence on the streets.
What violence on the streets? Seriously. Who is doing the raping, the sexual assaults, all the rest of it? And even when you're caught, back to rights, do jail time, some of them are like, well, you know, okay, so he was in charge of, like, you know, a rape gang. But we really shouldn't have this guy out of the UK. He's got rights.
Violence against mosques, the violence against synagogues, and the violence against...
What about the violence against churches? How many churches have been burnt down over the last few years especially? Defaced, all the rest of it.
Any minority group within our society.
Seriously, look at London. Lots of people are avoiding London now. God forbid you've got a half-decent watch on or a mobile phone. Yeah?
You should think very carefully about what they say.
Another tosser. I mean, I said Corbyn and his ilk have made a career out of destroying Western values. Absolutely. And that's absolutely what this idiot's about. And his ilk, yeah? Male and female. Socialism leads to communism, leads to despotism. Historically, that's always been the case.
And how they depict asylum seekers and refugees.
Oh my God! Honestly, there's some parts of the UK that you're struggling to see a white face, for God's sake.
Far right this and far right that. It's his Islamic terrorist pals that are responsible for attacking synagogues, not the damn far right. What a disgusting lie. It's also his Islamic and far left friends that rampage through the streets week in, week out, shouting stuff like globalise the Intifada.
The honourable member who just spoke said he'd been over to northern France to examine what was going on there. I've been
Listen to what he says next.
Over to northern France as well. I've been over to Calais and I've talked to people living in tents and...
That's where you'll be bloody living with the way things are going. Seriously.
They are desperate. They're desperate people who once worked for the British Army.
honestly, God, these people have been coming through several Western nations. Oh, no, no, no. Benefits aren't enough here. Benefits aren't enough here. Benefits aren't enough here. We need to go to the UK. They demonise their own. They call them all racist.
Army in Afghanistan, they're desperate people who were bombed in Iraq, they're desperate people who were bombed in Syria.
Really, do you think that's the bulk of people coming across here? It's not. It's not. And I see so many of them, they're literally during the day just strolling about the streets with mobile phones without a care in the world.
Desperate people trying to find somewhere to survive in this world. And what they find is hostility, they find danger, and they find abuse.
I mean, come on. Honestly, seriously.
Nobody in their right mind would get into one of those dinghies and cry.
Meanwhile, they're going on about Anne. Yeah? The poor woman was murdered. But I'll never forgive her for breathing in the first place. Oh, she did so much evil. Really? Anne did.
Across the channel unless they were utterly desperate for it.
We now have protests every week over some migrant attack or other. Public anger and rage are rising week by week.
They're wanting all this. Absolutely. I keep saying to people, the last thing you want is civil unrest. Historically, that's never, ever, ever gone well. Councils, government, all the rest of it have the things like continuity of governance, all the rest of it. They can disappear off for months on end if it truly kicked off. And honestly, it ties into these 15-minute cities, zones within cities, checkpoints, 20-minute neighbourhoods. How do you get to there?
If people don't want these asylum seekers in their local communities, then that should be the end of that. The sooner
I mean, is that unreasonable? Come on.
he understands that, the better. And listen to this activist arguing against the deportation of that monster who committed the most horrific crimes imaginable.
Shabana Mahmood is proposing is going to bring further injustice to our societies. We're going to see things similar to the Windrush scandal, because what this law
Oh my God, honestly.
prevents is the deportation of people in our communities, uncles, aunties, neighbours, market traders, people above the age of 50, 60, 70, who came here from different parts of the Commonwealth, which were colonised by Britain, and who don't have papers.
What about our communities that have suffered immensely since we imported people?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my God, honestly, what, 15 plus years ago, and probably more, I was noticing even in Dunfermline, you know, when I was living in Burton Island at the time, right? And I was across in Dunfermline, and I was at a pub there, and I'm chatting to a few people, and I realised they were all English. And then they come up from London, and they were like, honestly, it's really changed. It's nowhere near as safe as it used to be. No jokes. Honestly, even then, they could see the changes. And people were moving out of London, coming to what they believed at the time was safer places. You know, confidence to be able to walk about day or night without a care in the world. It's certainly not like that anymore in places like Edinburgh or Glasgow or many other now. It's only been in the matter of the last few years. It's really. Meanwhile, you know, everybody's a racist. If you're not in Britain, we have never got enough refugees and immigrants, apparently. And that they absolutely created they created every single invention. They did, you know, honestly, if it wasn't for people abroad, you know, we would never have existed. According to all those people who are like, no, it's never enough. We've just got it's not diverse enough. I warned years ago, I'm like, even if you're in Scottish Western Islands, they're going to look at it and go, nah, it's not diverse enough. It's not diverse enough. Seriously.
A country in their millions. And the cheek to say colonised by Britain. What about the
We're being invaded. There's no two doubts about it. And it's the councils and government, the wall to wall with the cultists, who believe that, you know, mankind is something to be overcome. Right? It's an occult belief system. Apotheosis.
Colonisation of Britain that's happening now, today. We didn't take over and replace the people there, did we? What percentage of Pakistan or Bangladesh is white English? Exactly. This is our homeland.
Imagine going to China and saying, sorry, you're not diverse enough. Oh, by the way, good luck with that. Obviously with sarcasm in my voice. Oh, try that in India. Try that in Pakistan.
Only one we've got. And we resist the idea that you are entitled to come here in your millions, take over and replace us, all paid for by our taxes.
We need to deal with the system as a whole. And just dealing with this one person isn't going to solve the problem.
So I'm sorry to press you on that.
I mean, for LBC to be stuttering. LBC to be stuttering.
Saida, but are you saying we've just got to accept him in our community?
Honestly, seriously. They're just dead behind, they're just dead in the eyes, aren't they? And it's water for ducks back to them. It truly is.
What we have to do is...
Because this is a very specific case that the government is under pressure to deal with. I understand the desire for an umbrella of actions, and there may be every legitimacy in calling for that. But on this specific case, what do you want them to do with this guy right now, today, tomorrow, next week?
What we've got is calls by the far right to have him...
This term. Far right. Yep. Honestly. That's it. Don't explain yourselves. No, just demonize anybody that actually gives a shit about what's going on and just vilify them as just, you know, Nazis and you know.
Deported. But that doesn't deal with the problem of sexual violence, does it? And also, just deporting him and sending him to Pakistan, how does that deal with people in Pakistan who could...
I couldn't give a flying fuck. He's Pakistani. Off he pops.
...be impacted by sexual violence? It doesn't.
Deporting him doesn't...
Honestly, I'll leave you a link to this. As always, I could do a better job, but the madness I am seeing, absolute insanity. Seriously. And I'll speak to you soon.